'tis a merry time indeed, everyone.
It doesn't look
Not
merry.
only is it it's a snowy day. It's a wonderful spooky month miracle. Welcome everybody to the snow of Basidia. And we've invited along Sealy again.
Hey, Sealy.
Why is Sealy here? Well, because this game is actually heavily inspired by the art styles and representation and just the portrayal of things like, Ocarina of Time. You're in 64 Zelda's kind of games.
Yep, and it has just as much of a fucked up sense of nature as Majora's Mask.
Also, look at all these, like, background textures. Like, I know this is technically a thing in Ocarina as well, but it looks especially muddy here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the power of like resolution
And it was my
stuff.
idea for Logan to record this for the channel.
Well, for Spooky Month, and because I think it is a very interesting short story. Again, this, as you already tell by the video, it's not going to be a long one. Already me talking about this is probably more time than we're going to really be needing. This was made for a game jam, kind of an advent calendar, like one spooky game per day kind of game. And how about we learn about the interesting tale of the snow of Basidia.
And probably the only tale we'll get to know about.
At least for the time being. There is a sequel planned, but it's kind of in indefinite hiatus. More about that will be discussed later. For now, here's our character.
A boy who looks like he just...
I don't even think he has a name, does he?
Nope, doesn't matter. It's a wonderful little snowy day. Snow coming from the mountain tops as you would, and there's even some thermal vents that are blasting air up to be kind of used as like little jetpacks. The wind can lift you up. This little child. I thought snow was supposed to be cold, but the snow is nice and warm. Very
Warm
sweet.
snow.
Absolutely, and I mean, imagine snow that you can play in, make angels in, snowmen, and not have to feel like you're freezing your nips off. It's a good day, a good day indeed. Hello there. Can't believe it's really snowing. I always thought this canyon was too hot, but I guess even our snow is tougher out here. Watching snowfall makes you just want to drift off to sleep. You know, it is a peaceful looking day.
I think each character has like 3 pieces of dialogue.
Yep. At least 3. I think later on the characters you meet will only have about 2, but just
Wait,
good to talk to everybody.
There's someone
you
you
can.
forgot to talk to.
I know. I'm heading over. Woo! It's a typical Zelda fare of running, and you automatically jump and you hit the edge of a plane. While I'm talking to some of these, while I'm talking to these characters, what are your guys's? James, have you ever tried any of these like indie game jam like one-off games?
Not necessarily. A lot of them never really piqued my interest all that much.
Fair enough. Has there ever been like that one rare occurrence?
I mean, I guess the closest I can think of is maybe like the occasional thing that they put out on like every like Sage every year, but nothing immediately screams to mind.
Fair enough. How about you, Hype?
I'm not sure. Like, I don't usually go out my way to play like a lot of indie games. Not that I don't appreciate the talent, it's just that I've just been too preoccupied with like work, house stuff, and whatnot to like put time into video games. But, I definitely appreciate a lot of the talent put into it, like between this. Also, at the time of us recording this, Anton Blast put out a new demo. I'm gonna see if I can try that out soon, so... Yeah, I definitely do appreciate a lot of the stuff that gets put into these type of games.
Someone compared that character to Eric Cartman.
I could see that with the hat and the general color palette of their outfit, but it looks like this construction guy there is a ruckus going on inside the mountain. Someone tried to blast open the cavern doors, and ever since then, snow's been falling from the mountaintops. Something could have happened. I better go check on the crew.
Yeah.
Mushroom.
For all we know, maybe these
mushroom.
But yeah, no, most of these mushrooms seem to be emitting similar snow than what's falling around our home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Snowy mushrooms. That's cool. Hey, how's it going, man? Finally got the cavern doors to open, but it caused a big earthquake. Whoop. And it knocked over a pillar. Because we're inside the cavern now. It's your typical Zelda dungeon affair. And this guy's getting a little sleepy, so that's fair, we're gonna go double check on everybody. And whoop. That's a big honking mushroom.
Yeah. Also, be careful. I'm pretty sure drop this along would definitely break your leg.
Thankfully, the thermal vent is just strong enough to lift us up to safety. Whoa! And it's landing. Good. More cute mushrooms. Lovely.
Cute mushrooms.
Cute
They look
mushrooms.
kind
I
of
mean,
unsettling to me.
maybe it's like the thin, like hollow appearance that they have because of the
Yeah.
the texturing in between makes them look all sinewy and not a simple like solid cap. What do you think about the mushrooms, sir?
Uh-oh.
I don't think he likes them.
Okay, well,
Might want to get that checked out by a doctor.
you know what? But you know what? I'm never one to.
I've heard of fungal infections, but this is ridiculous.
Well, I'm not one to jump to hasty conclusions. Let's get a second opinion. What do you think about the mushroom?
His eyes are gone.
I feel
Well,
like he
not
might
gone,
be
there's
a
just-
little less than inclined.
Okay, well, you know, you got to try everything at least once. Let me at least see what was behind the giant cavern doors that everybody was making such a ruckus about. Gosh, the spores are making a huge pile around here.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh dear.
did I say
What?
spores?
What is that?
This seems to be some ancient entity, is all the best that I can gather from what little the story will tell us. Some ancient fungal entity that had been restless and disturbed when the doors were blasted open, and because of this,
Uh-oh.
it simply did what it was designed and deemed for survival.
To blow smoke into the air.
Smoke or spores?
Spores. The fact remains,
What is this
This
that
was
stuck in the ceiling right there?
this is no snow.
I was about
And
to say, I'm
also,
starting to get
look
the...
at all
What's
the-
up?
That's a huge pile. That's a huge pile.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think you're onto something, Logan. I
hear
think
that?
that's...
Hear that?
Oh.
Something crawling in the head.
Crawling in my head.
Get it out, get it out, get it out, get it out, get it out!
Oh.
Well, it's getting out. Oh, that's it for them.
Also,
Looks like they're low on us too, judging from the size of the screen.
My vision doesn't feel the same as it used to.
were those always... Was I always seeing that stuff?
It's like when you have an eyelash stuck in your head. How you doing,
hate
sir?
that feeling.
Something growing inside.
Get it out of me!
Oh.
Oh my.
Well, there you have it.
Oh,
Yep.
it's getting
You might
stronger.
want to check on the guy that was... Oh. Never
Oh.
mind.
The boy was not enjoying the ride, it seems, after it
Oh,
grew rapidly.
we're already getting... Look, you can't even see the hub anymore.
Oh yeah, it's starting to, the HUD's getting all fleshy and stuff.
Gross.
Everything
Yeah.
hurts. The music right now is so unsettling.
More
Ain't that kinda
rapidly
point?
growing, more rapidly growing mushrooms. Well, that seems like a decent, like, forced conversation. Oh, even my
Yeah,
eyes are
it's
starting to now
interesting.
react.
Yep,
Oh.
yep, look, our eyes are... Now we're getting affected. Please.
This is what we get for trying to have a snow day in the middle of October's heat wave.
This is what happens when you try to make a snow day and go at Goron City.
And
at this
everybody's
point-
almost everybody's still alive.
Massive mushrooms raining, and at this point, there is nothing we can do. Simply succumb.
We're
Oh,
done.
boy.
Game over.
Well,
And it seems like he gets the worst of it.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
but-
went into you literally went in too deep there, buddy boy.
Mm-hmm.
And thus is the tale of the snow of Basidia.
Damn.
And at this point, the game is just going to run, and the game is going to just close itself, and that's all we know about this story as of right now. So
Wait,
it's
so
going to
that's
fade
it?
to black. That's it for now. It was just again, this is just a horror game tech demo, and whoop, there goes the game. Just closed itself. So at this point, there was a continuation, a sequel of sorts that is in the works, known as
Winds
The-
of Basidia.
the Winds of Basidia, which I think is a natural progression of sorts. Like, you know, if spores have now been released into the air, what would happen if now winds brought them farther out into the world? And, you know, this clearly, like, invasive species of mushrooms is now, like, you know, wreaking havoc on the entire world. I could see I can see a goodness me. I can see a Last of Us or like some sort of like styled survival horror dealing with like invasive fungal species, because if you look into like freaking National Geographic, mushrooms can be pretty freaky in their own way. Lest we forget like what some mushroom spores can do to like ants and whatnot if they seek to do that.
I got so upset when Logan first showed this to me.
Well, I think it's a very like I enjoy it in the sense of it's not a like in your face jump scare horror game. I think like it's supposed to pardon any sort of unintentional pun, but like get under your skin and like feel like visibly like distraught to like look at. I don't know, but I don't know. Will I cover Winds of Basidia? I don't know. It depends on how it's going to look and turn out. So far, the creator said that it's not canceled, just on an indefinite hiatus. But figured it'd be nice to gather the old gang back together for a little bit and share in a little bit of some original horror content. Because I do appreciate that this wasn't like a ROM hack or anything. This was like built from the ground up in Unity to mirror that same style of engine as Ocarina of Time.
I wish you could find a soundtrack, because that ending music, that's really good. Just it makes you just really unsettled and worried.
I'm sure I can find a way to like access the file and share it later. What's up, James?
You ever find it funny how the Mushroom Kingdom is probably the safest representation of mushrooms you'll ever see in the media?
Just never ask too much about it. Otherwise, probably
too much about it.
Mushroom. Mushroom. But
don't think about it.
Just confirmed product. But no, just I guess before we wrap up, since again that game is very brief, actually briefer than I even expected. I thought it'd be at least 15 minutes, but here we are. What did you all think of that little experience? Those little like kind of like almost like those scary stories to tell in the dark style of games.
It was effective.
I'm interested to see more.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like, it definitely is an interesting premise. I feel like it kind of cut itself off before it got to the more interesting part, though. Like, it kind of felt like...
Yeah.
Like, it feels more like a proof of concept more than anything.
For sure,
right.
for sure.
And I mean, that is kind of the point, because, like Logan said, with these, what do they call these things? Like game jams or whatever?
Mm-hmm. It's typically when like it's like a bunch of people like working together. So this was, I guess, the really brief. The brief background was this was part of 2020's game jam like collection called the Madvent calendar. 24 games to play each day, and all of them had to have some sort of holiday, some form of holiday inspired like twist to them. So in the case of this one, it was snowy. They went for the snow, and how can they make snow creepy, kind of thing.
And they did it.
But yes, continue, James.
That's about as far as I was gonna take it. Like, just like the whole point about these game jam things is like obviously there's a game every day. And, games take a while to make, so obviously not all... Like, if you're given such a short amount of time to actually make them, there's not going to be much to really give out. So, make the most of what little time you're able to make.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trying to think of any other, like, upcoming game jams themselves that I'm curious about, because I know there's a lot of them that are hosted on, say, itch.io, or some that are that are held by, again, like, the Sonic fandom and stuff. I know there's got to be like some article I can look up of like really good projects that came from games, like game jams and stuff. But I guess while I'm looking that, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking up upcoming game jams.
And I'm just looking up if there's ever like a list. Global game jam projects that became successful, and then we'll end. Sorry if it's been dragging this out a little bit. I'm just now curious.
Fine.
Well, let's see. Scrolling through, Texturesist, a pretty solid game I enjoy, where it's like, it's like a freaking Typing of the Dead meets sprite pixel-based, like moving around to like fight a demon. That was apparently from a game jam, and I enjoy that game. Let's see if there's any other ones. Well, that's all I'm finding on that list that I could see. Games made during some competition. Someone is claiming... Nope, never mind. That comment did not load anymore. Well...
Oh, never mind.
Apologies for the awkward end of all of that. I promise that I will stick the landing better on the next one. But Oh, apparently, sorry, last thing. Apparently, if this is true, someone is claiming that Super Hot, Donut County, solid game, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, Surgeon Simulator, Binding of Isaac, and Hollow Knight all began as like game jam, like proof of concept projects. So,
wow.
in that case, with some of the games on, if that's the case, then just sometimes I appreciate them for allowing people to toss ideas at the wall and see what sticks. That's certainly a lot more exciting than what we get nowadays from bigger companies. But that all aside, thank you all for joining, and stay tuned for another spooky project.
Yep.
However many there are left. Till next time, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.